All right, guys. So, Fula coming to you with another video. I hope all is well with you. So, the thing is Mrs. Bivol, Dmitry Bivol's wife. She said something that was very, very telling, and this is true. This is very true, and this showed in the fight. This showed in the fight with Canelo and Dmitry Bivol, and it also showed the fact that, that certain fighters in a certain group of fighters, which I will not name, but in which Canelo belongs to, really lack boxing IQ. So she kind of underhandedly kind of sneak diss Canelo in a way. It was kind of like a sneak diss. And I understand, because I would probably be doing the same thing, especially, seeing that, Canelo's daughter didn't know any better, but she stuck her tongue out at Dmitry Bivol. It's like, okay, well, you're not going to check your daughter. You're not going to check her mannerisms. You're just going to let her get away with doing things like that? Really, bro? But that's beside the point. But anyhow, what Dmitry Bivol's wife said, she said that, we may not be the face of boxing, but we're the brains and the heart of boxing. Now, I say this to say, because there was talks, like Dmitry Bivol said, maybe why not beat him at 168 and take his belts there, because in the rematch, he would definitely be the A side. The fact of the matter is he took the fight being the B side, and we're going to get into his payment in a minute. But I want to talk about the fact that he hinted at wanting to fight at 168. He said, you know what, I beat him at 175. I might as well take his shit at 168 now, right? Now, it appears that, he kind of, the COVID-19 pandemic kind of led to him kind of like going up in weight, Dmitry Bivol going up in weight. Before the pandemic, though, he could fight at 168. This was before the pandemic, right? But because these were his words, I'm not 100% sure about fighting at 168 before the coronavirus. I was sure I could do it. But after the pandemic, I put on a little weight. Too much eating. Eat and don't fight. Okay? Now, the thing is, you have some of these channels, of course, especially these pro-Canelo channels. These pro-Canelo channels, especially them. Okay, I'm not gonna even name these pro-Canelo channels. It's not even a point. But now you have these pro-Canelo channels who are now saying that he's ducking the rematch. I'm like, how is he ducking the rematch when he beat him so convincingly in the first fight? How is he ducking it? Now you have he said that fighting at 168. He said that it's not like definite that they can't do it. He's like, we can talk of that. And these were Dmitry Bivol's words. He said, we can talk of that, of fighting the rematch at 168 pounds. You know, with the Cinnamon's team, we can talk it over. It's not 100% safe that I will fight at 168. No, but we can talk about it. You know, so the fact of the matter is, he didn't completely rule out fighting at 168. He didn't completely rule it out. He just said, hey, you know, it would be kind of difficult for me to make 168. The COVID pandemic, you know, this kind of happened, things like that. You know, he didn't rule out fighting at 168 though. It wasn't ruled out. Okay? He just said it was tough to make 168. Now, another thing that I wanted to talk about is I wanted to talk about the fact that Dmitry Bivol has not gotten paid yet. Now, the thing is this. Here's the thing. Here's the thing that you have to know about the boxing media. And about the overall media at large. The thing is that everybody knows that Bivol, right, it will now by default, like this happened unfortunately by default because he did beat Canelo. But Bivol is now an Eagle League fighter. And the reason why Bivol is an Eagle League fighter is because he wasn't supposed to do what he did 2 weekends ago. He wasn't supposed to do that. Okay, that wasn't part of the plan. That was not part of boxing media's plan. Okay, this was not part of it. So, because he foiled these plans, number one, he will not get credit for what he did, and did so easily too, might I add. Did it pretty easily. Number two, because of this country and its hypocrisy and the sanctions they have placed on Russia, Bivol has not gotten paid yet. But that's another video in itself, because honestly, as crazy as it sounds, the Russian economy is growing even with those sanctions, you know, quiet as kept. But I find it ironic that they refuse to pay this man, right? But yet you guys had no problem with competing in the Olympics when apartheid was going on with South Africa. You had no problem in actually staging fighting events in South Africa during the apartheid. You guys had no issue with doing that. But you have an issue with paying a man because you don't like Russia? Like, this is just goes to show you the double standards of America. Okay, when they pick and choose who they're mad at. Okay? Who, like selective rage or something like that, you can call it. But with, you know, it just goes to show you the double standards that they have as a whole. You know, I mean, this man should have been paid. He was Russian before the fight even started. Okay? He's been Russian for the longest now. And if you guys knew you weren't going to pay him, then why have the fight in general? Why sanction the fight? Why sanction the fight if you guys hated Russia so much, instead of just like making him fight, and you're not even paying the man for fighting? Like, this makes no sense to me. So now, luckily though, I'm pretty sure he has he manages his money well. So with him doing that, with him managing the money well, I'm pretty sure he'll be okay, and that he's not hurting for money. You know, but the fact of the matter is, they still haven't paid that man, and they need to pay him. You know, pay this man. Stop doing this. This is not cool. But with that being said, that's all I got for now, guys. You leave your thoughts and leave your comments about this situation. I mean, I think that, 168, it can be done. It's just, it has to be done without him, like, compromising his health to do it. You know what I mean? So, honestly, the way I look at this whole situation is, the rematch should be on his terms anyway. He won the first fight. So, the rematch should be on his terms. And one more thing I want to add before I go is the boxing media, and these boxing media outlets, like the big ones that show up to every single fight and stuff like that. Those boxing outlets, right? They wanted Canelo to be this larger than life star. They wanted him to appear better than what he really is. Okay? And when a guy comes along who doesn't really honestly have that big a fan base, and not that big of media attention, when he comes along and he effortlessly beats Canelo, then like they're gonna do everything in their power to still keep Canelo as the media darling, the quote unquote face of boxing. Because the thing is although he was beat, although the face of boxing was beat, they will not make Bivol the face of boxing, for the simple fact that Bivol is opposite of Western society, what Western society stands for. What Western society stands for is someone who is loud, someone who is diva-like, and someone who has these like feminine tendencies, which Canelo has. You know what I mean? Canelo has those things. As seen with him after losing the fight and him getting drunk and stuff like that. Those are things that females would do. A real man would just take it on the cheek, keep it moving, go back to the drawing board and do it like that, instead of like singing karaoke and crap after he lost. But anyhow, the reason why they can't even push Bivol is because Bivol is opposite of what they are. Bivol, strong, silent, cool, calm, collected type. He lets his actions speak in the ring. This is why they don't like that type. They don't like that type of person. You look at, for example, with the UFC, you look at Khabib Nurmagomedov. Like, it's as sad as it says, he did his job in UFC and stuff like that, but he was not really liked by mainstream media. They really disliked him. you know. But mainstream media loves Conor McGregor. You feel me? They love that type. They don't love the strong silent type who just gets it done, you know. But I like that type, you know, and Joran Ennis falls into that category as well. But best believe the media is not, the larger boxing media and these media outlets are not talking about him because of the skill set and because of like the fact that he would beat the boxing media's favorite fighters, the bigger boxing media. You know what I mean? That's the whole situation, and this is how it unfortunately goes. That in the boxing media, like in this current age of boxing media, unfortunately, you get measured more about what you say versus more than your skill set in the ring. For example, Teofimo Lopez with his dumbass had the audacity to say that he was undisputed and that he started the trend of undisputed, and that people, he said that nowadays they're making anybody undisputed, you know, but always remember where the trend came from. And it's like, bro, you weren't even undisputed in the first place, man. You ducked Devin Haney, man. You didn't want to fight for the WBC belt. So this is what happens, you know. This is what happens, and it's unfortunate that it's like this, but it is what it is. And you know, I'm gonna do what I have to do with my small platform in order to like push like some kind of like transparent perspective in regards to this. Now, another thing too that I need to say is that the media never really the larger boxing media never really mentioned the fact that Canelo turned down the undisputed fight at 160 with Demetrius Andrade for I think $40 million. He decided, yeah, you know, we're gonna fight Kovalev on a short notice so he doesn't have time to prepare and recover from the difficult fight that he had last, you know. And so with that being said, it just goes to show you what kind of like character he is, you know. And it also goes to show you the type of characters that, you know, number one, his trainer is, and number two, you know, what these governing organizations stand for. Because you have to remember, the WBC actually made the clenbuterol level more in order to cater to Canelo and other fighters who were getting caught on clenbuterol as well, you know. And so, yeah, man, it's messed up. You know, it's messed up that Bivol hasn't gotten paid yet. You know, it's unfortunate, and you know, hopefully, you know, soon he'll get paid, inshallah. And you know, who knows what the rematch will be at. I personally will want to see it at 168, because I think that if he knows that like that Canelo's the title holder at 168, I think that may even put a bigger engine in Bivol to like take his titles. You know what I mean? But again, like he has to hopefully be at optimum level and in order to carry that out, in order to do that, you know. That's what I would want to see. happen. This is a fight at 168, you know. But if it's at 175, no problem. It'll be more of the same. But anyhow, man, let's just wait and see what happens. Full of signing out. Leave your thoughts, leave your comments. Jada.